Here's the sense that I got. Oh no, Trump's gonna win.
Okay, so I have nothing but love for the Young Turks, but I found this clip of Cenk Uygur in which he predicts that Trump will win based on his,
Oh no, proverbial gut.
quite frankly, embarrassingly stupid.
I hope my BS anecdotal read of Ohio in a third of a day is as silly as it sounds.
It is. The only way to really predict who will win an election with any degree of accuracy is to look at the polling. So I'm gonna do just that in a short series of short videos. Now you guys have asked for a video outlining what the swing states will be, but in this series I want to give you even more than that. I'll analyze the polls in all 50 states, I'll determine the reliability of polling, what the swing states will be, and sub-categorize all red and blue states by the strength of Trump or Clinton's lead. At the end of the day, we'll be able to generate a prediction of who will win the US election that is actually based on polling instead of relying on our,
Oh no, proverbial gut.
After this series is complete, I will of course keep you up to date with changes in the polling. But first, in the interest of full disclosure, I want to share with you just exactly how I am building this analysis. So here it is, my methodology. This is a graph of the nationwide polls. It gives us some sense that Clinton is actually more likely to win. But as I explained in my video, How Do US Presidential Elections Work, the general popularity of a candidate is not what determines who will win the presidency. To know that, we need to know who will win the Electoral College. We need to know what the solid blue and solid red states are, what the swing states are, and who the swing states are likely to vote for. That's the only way to know who is likely to win and how confident we can be in our predictions. To keep my analysis as even-handed as possible, I've relied solely on poll aggregations provided by RCP. Where RCP data provides a polling average, I use theirs. Where they do not, I take the mean of the few polls available. But as far as polling goes, not all states are created equal. In fact, in part 2 of this series, I analyze what I call wildcard states.
Wildcard, bitches!
States in which there is either no reliable polling data available, or where the polling data is quite slim, specifically less than 3 reliable polls. By this definition, about half of US states are actually wildcards. So I've refined the list further. Where a state is traditionally a swing state and there is either no polling data available or the polls indicate a lead of less than 5 points, I call it a total toss-up. I also call it a total toss-up if the available polling data contradicts historical patterns and the lead shown is less than 10 points. For the wildcard states that are not total toss-ups but no polling data is available, or the lead shown is less than 3 points, I indicate who they are likely to vote for based on historical trends. Where there is at least some polling data available, I sub-categorize red and blue states based on the strength of the lead. A lead of 10 or more points is a solid lead, a lead of 6 to 10 I call likely, and where there is a lead of less than 6 but more than 3, I simply say the state leans towards that candidate. For states that do have sufficient polling, I break the states down by strength of lead in the same manner: solid, likely, and leans. In cases where the lead shown is less than 3%, I consider that a proper swing state. In the end, not only will you be able to see what the swing states are and who they favor, you'll see which states have sufficient polling data to make a fair determination and which do not. You'll see who's leading where and by how much, who's likely winning the election, and how certain we can be about this prediction. It may be tedious, but accuracy requires rigor. The mainstream media doesn't seem to want to bother with a detailed assessment, so I'm doing it. I really appreciate you watching this video to see how I'm breaking down the polling, and I hope you'll stay tuned for part 2, in which I break down the wildcard states. To stay up to date with the polls, hit subscribe. You'll also be treated to my various rants on politics and culture. Let me know in the comments down below who you're supporting and why, also who you think will win, and what question you'd like to see me talk about next. And to reward you for sitting through a particularly dry edition of Question Time, here's a clip of a local news reporter getting frightened by a chicken.
Australorp cockerel, one of 500 birds that are being judged today at the show.